What's good, y'all? We here in the PlayStation Lounge. I don't know, it depends on when you see this. You may have your PlayStation already or may not. Depends. People are jumping back and forth on what to do. You guys know whenever you see me, there's some controversy going on. So I got a lot more of that right here. Like, I've been watching my feed and there's been some interesting developments coming across. My angle is always going to be from the Xbox perspective. I really didn't like how Sony channeled a lot of negative energy, poked a lot of fun, and sent the angry mob toward Microsoft. But it is what it is. You see blood in the water, you gotta go in. But now I'm starting to see a lot of madness. The effect is coming around to bite some people in the ass. Now, things like, when I say negative, I mean like the whole 1080, the whole always online thing. That's whatever. Then it came out how, there's a day one patch for Sony, and I've made my correlation to the two. Some people may or may not agree, but if you got to get on the internet day one to get a patch to make your system work, then you shouldn't be bitching about a system that's always connected to the internet. But then there's even more coming out, like simple things like being able to play an audio CD. All right, fine, no problem. Being able to play MP3s, fine, no problem. And if you want to do that, you have to be subscribed to Sony's Sony's music service to do that. Fine, no problem. Because if that was Xbox, I wouldn't be bitching. I got a Zune account. I have one for years now. Fine, no problem. DLNA is missing. Okay, now this becomes a problem because that's how I would use my PlayStation. Aside from all of that, people's gotten their hands on the devices. A lot of the embargo's been lifted. A lot of these big, the IGNs, the GameStops, they're starting to post their reviews, and things are not looking good. And when I say that, I mean, when you watch the Sony E3 event, you really got this feeling they were all about the games, and they're all about the games, and that's what they were saying. Yeah, we've got 1,001 IPs coming. Killzone hits 7, Knack hits 7, and I've said this before. I hear you when you say working hard, but is quality does it not equate to quantity or vice versa? Because I hear you when you say you got all these lineups, but if all of them are going to come out and they're going to be mediocre games, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, what are you selling me? And so far out the gate, that seems to be the issue. Now, I'm a fair dude. This is launch date. You can't really think like that on launch titles, right? Launch titles really kind of suck. They always did. They always will. But again, with the energy that Sony put out to overstate the point that they're 100% committed, and then this is what you get. It kind of off balances that launch title argument. So now it's like, I expected a lot more because you put the competition down and you some very valid points, and you really beat your chest and it looked really good, and now the reviews are out and it's like, okay. Then there's people out there who actually got their PlayStation early. There's videos on YouTube, the shit's glitching. Is it a graphics card issue? There's videos of the shit randomly turning off. I think it was IGN or GameSpot. One of them, their device just didn't turn on. Okay, so let's go at it again. Launch day, these things are supposed to be expected, right? And this is a big thing with Snow and a lot of people in general. I go head first, but people, they like to hold on, let the first batch go out there, and then we'll deal. Okay, I'm not arguing that, and I completely understand that. But again, when you make sport of the competitor, when you outwork down people, and you go that far, you better make sure your shit is solid. Not the case. So again, when I asked, did Sony make jackasses out of the gamers? Answer my question for me. You guys went hard defending this shit, right? You didn't want to hear anything about the Xbox. Mind you, we didn't even talk about the Xbox. This is not Xbox's moment to shine. It's PlayStation's time. And they're not shining. How are you supposed to feel about that? Like, I was getting both. Just off morals alone, I'm not getting the PlayStation anymore because I feel like you worked that hard to make Xbox look bad and you're not even standing on 2 feet. You know, talking to Snow, he's on the other coin, the other side of the coin. He had a good point that outside of all the madness and how I feel about Sony really outwardly attacking Microsoft with the whole E3 thing, like Sony's been on the defense for a long time. And that's something like that never clicked to me really, because I'm always on the other side. But I feel that they're, you know, now is their time to be on the offense, and they fix so much of their issues. You know what I mean? Like, because they launched behind, a whole year behind on the last generation, and they had issues with games, like they made up for it. It's almost like they overstated for it. And I can get that, and I can see how some PlayStation dudes are overly happy about this. Like, nah, no matter what's happening right now, Sony still kind of did right by people on that perspective, right? Because it's not a year late. In fact, it's a week earlier than the competition, so that's a win. At this point, I'm skipping the PlayStation 4. Like I read an article about the creator for Knack. He's on the internet bitching about the scores. Like, what developer does that? Don't bitch about the score. Make a better game. You get what I'm saying? You didn't see EA out there. Oh, why did they give Medal of Honor 4? Even though we know the politics behind it. Like, nah, you'll be an adult, man. This shit, you promised people one thing and you delivered something else. So I'm really, and as a gamer, I kind of empathize with people, and I'm reading these comments and I'm digging. I went into the Google Plus community for the PlayStation, and there's not as much posts as they kept up with on a daily basis, and they're not posting a negative thing. So it's like, you guys post all the negative shit about Xbox and why it's not as good as the PlayStation, but the minute a litany of issues, and I'm not talking about all of these companies reporting the same issue. No, this is not it. There's multiple issues from different sources. IGN's they're not redoing their review. GameSpot's not saying anything. The Verge is not saying, Engadget are not saying anything. Like, hold on. What's up? You get what I mean? Like, I feel like this is not a good place for consumers. Like, all you guys out there who are anxious to get it and are gonna get it, they're like, oh shit, you know, you're nervous, but you'll never say you're nervous. That to me is not cool. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to feel about it right now. Like, you tell me how to feel about it. If you were gonna get it day one, I don't want the Xbox guys getting it. You know, stay classy, my friends. You don't get in there because this is PlayStation's time to shine. Come next week, Microsoft will be in a shitstorm themselves. Again, I completely empathize and expect the Xbox is going to come out and have a green ring now. You know what I mean? Like, there's day one issues. But when specifically talking about the PlayStation, when you go the extra mile to point out something about the other guy, you better not have issues. So, holla at me, man. Is this their best foot forward? Was it all worth it? They did a lot of work to sway the mind share. Is it the same mind share? I don't know. It's your boy Ramon. I'm out of here, man.